sinking of the Bismarck. It was 1941, the war had just begun. The Germans had the biggest ships, they had the biggest guns. It was the biggest screw-up the world had ever seen. They were hanging men and women too for the wearing of the green. That upspake by stop crowing on the good ship Fiddler of Dee. Human all to you in, here's what they said to me. Einstein, O'Brien, I hope that you agree. We gotta sink the Bismarck to the bottom of the sea. I turned them to my star crew and cries out, sorry men, we're getting the hell out of here, we won't be back again. Well, this little fishing boat, there's nothing we can do. We must save ourselves for our sweethearts here, it's a foggy, foggy dew. On the name of that blessed tavern, seem to move them all. And motion clear us shouting out the truth that did appall. We can't let them get to Ireland, they'll shut their dear pubs down. And though I have cried hardest turn, I cried out turn around. I turned again to my good crew and shouted, here we go. We're ramming the nasty bastards, but does anybody know what the hell good that'll do? But then I heard a voice, it was the fine baritone, the first mate Jimmy Joyce. Full speed ahead, brave Jimmy said, are you Irish blues or sissies? I know this is what we need to do, it's in my tail, brave Ulysses. Full speed ahead, he cried again, oh ye brave gentlemen, we got to sink the Bismarck with the eternal feminine. I want every man among you to kneel down on the deck and apologize sincerely for the lives of women you have wrecked. Oh, you forlorn sweethearts and all you sainted mothers, and then you all cry desperately for another and another. Yes, all the poor innocents killed in all your wars, and those screwed by your religions, your virgins and your whores, and every single woman enslaved by fiery fear that some beastly poobah will someday say, come here, my dear, and fuck them all up with all the crap, you know what crap I mean. All the crap that the worst crap the sad world's ever seen. The Irish then with his mad orbs, his Betty Davis eyes, but he had saved the best for last. Ah, Jimmy, you are wise. If you can't do it for the lassies, give the cads you've been, and remember that the Nazis will drink up your malt and gin. Then we all knelt down and cried aloud. What happened next was queerly like what happens in a song when you find yourself sincerely suddenly not the jerk you are because something strange and new transcends the swarms of ugly harms. It is the beast in you. So we raised a song against the wrong committed by sad men. To that eternal feminine is yet beyond their ken, including almost all women, with certain obvious exceptions like Messalina, Paris Hilton, and I won't go in that direction. We sang the song, but the song rang out into an empty sky. Where was the eternal feminine? Oh, surely we will die. When suddenly there appeared a figure from a myth, a consulting contract in his hand, and yes, it was Tim Smith. Oh, don't all ye brave sailors of performing intervention. There are some among you, just a fact that I will mention, who seem somewhat reluctant. Well, whosoever ye be, when all this is over, oh, whiskey's all be all. And we took heart and sang a song louder than much louder. And suddenly there was a voice, boys, can I be flatter? Your song is heard when it is heard, but God, this is not God's. It is the best that you can do, you pack of silly sods. We turned our eyes into the skies, and what do you think we see? A line of the fair muses, and they kissed off Valkyrie. And you never will believe it, but it's a sight I won't forget. The sailors song the Bismarck began, dancing a minuet. Then by the grace of the immortal she, we sang ourselves aboard. And the Nazis kept on dancing as we found our drink was stored. And the nine muses laughed and laughed as they poured whiskey down my throat and cried, the Bismarck ne'er shall be, this is the ill boat. And a whistle blew and the Bismarck's crew jumped up and swam for land. And a new crew filled the upper deck, first came the samba band. They shook their sweet marimbas, began playing their guitars. And we sailed through the air to the southern sea beneath the moon and stars. The Bismarck's never left boat, we got rid of all the guns. The boats and all the sweet, sweet forms, all the immortal ones. Our rare beauty sailing ship of the really godly sort. And sadly, we have passengers at almost every port. And the passengers we take aboard are all the innocent victims of the godly wars from ungodly heaven sent. And they cruise with us eternally up in the May warm sky. Love goes on forever and the good will never die. Our love goes on forever and the good will never die. 1941, the war had just begun. The Germans had the biggest ships, they had the biggest guns. Oh, it was the biggest screw up the world had ever seen. Oh, they were hanging and willing to for the wedding of the green.
Making such a fuss, we gotta sink the Bismarck cause the world depends on us. Hit the decks are running, boys, just spin those guns around. When we find the Hood found the Bismarck and on that fatal day,
the Bismarck started firing 15 miles away. We gotta sink the Bismarck.